Hi, this is Sarah Linger with Yellow Cat Publishing, and welcome to Music in Moments. Music in a moment? Music in a minute? No, it's more than a minute. Today we are going to be talking about the 12-bar blues scale and how to play it using the 12-bar blues scale and chord finder cards. The scale and chord finder card sets include a cover which shows two different variations of the 12-bar blues pattern, the bass notes, the blues scale, and 3 sets of chord voicings. In classical, voicing means playing out the melody, but when we're talking about voicings in jazz, we're talking about the arrangement of that particular chord. So this is the second set. It happens to be my favorite of the 3, though I like the other 2. I thought this one was a little bit more fun to teach. So, couple things about these cards so that you understand what's going on. First of all, the yellow, blue, and red go for the first, the fourth, and the fifth note of any scale. So tonic, dominant, and subdominant, or 1, 4, and 5, they are the basis of the blues pattern. They are the roots of the chord, and they are typically played by the bass. The roots of the chord are not always included in the chord. The blues scale is based on a major scale, and on these cards you'll see that in gray below are scale degrees on the major if they're not being played in the scale. The blues scale is based on a 1, a flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, and an 8. Okay, 8 and 1 are both yellow because they are the same pitch, except divided by an octave. When you are playing with a set of the cards, whether you're doing the bass, the chords, or the scale, you want to make sure that your 1 is lined up on the same key in different octaves. Because if you don't have them on the same key in different octaves, you'll find that you're playing in different keys. On the chord cards, the shapes are the keys that you're going to play. And when I show you this on the piano, it will make a little bit more sense. The roots of the chord are still indicated by the down arrows, but we're not playing them in this set. In some of the other sets, we do play the roots, but not this one. When I play this chord, I'm playing these 3 notes. When I'm playing the 4 chord, I'm playing these 3 keys. And when I'm playing the 5 chord, I'm playing these 3 keys. The numbers inside of the shapes indicate the scale degree relative to that particular key. So if I'm playing on the tonic, then the flat 7 is the flat 7 relative to this one. And the 9 is the 9 relative to that one. And the same thing, this is the 3rd scale degree. Again, for the 4 and 5, the principle is the same. So in terms of the voicing, this is a 9th chord, and these 2 are 13ths. Okay, so here is showing these cards in action. I've lined up the yellow arrow with the C. When I do the yellow arrow with the C, it lines up the 4 and the 5 with F and G, which shows me my 1, 4, and 5 for the key of C. If I wanted to see it in the key of F sharp, then I would move my 1 over to the F sharp key, and that would give me an F sharp, a B, and a C sharp, or a G flat, a C flat, and a D flat. The chord cards work the same way, and I'm going to be using the second set here to show this. So in the second set of the chords, we don't have the roots actually as part of the chord because these are ones where I would use the 1, 4, and 5 in the bass. I'm going to put it back on C for example purposes, and so I would line this up here with a C as well. Here, angle this down just a tiny bit. Here's my C chord, here's my F chord, and here's my G chord. They don't sound as cool as they do when you add the bass. If I needed to play in a different key, in the past, I'd struggle. But now, if I wanted to play in the key of G flat, then I slide my ones over to G flat. And then my G flat chord my C flat chord and my D flat chord simply by lining up the keys. It's so easy. So that's what I would be playing if I was playing with another musician. If I am accompanying myself, then I'm going to be using the chords. So here's my chords over here, and I'm going to use the blues scale. Once again, I have to line up the scale with the same key that I'm playing the chords in. In this case, I'm in C. And over here, my chords. If I wanted to play the blues in a different key, I simply do the same thing that I did before. So if I wanted to play B flat blues, I slide this down here so that the ones are on the B flat. So my B flat chord, my E flat chord, and my F chord. B flat blues scale, it's all laid out for you. Going back to C, one way of creating blues is to make up a short riff and playing the riff on top of the blues pattern. So in this case, this is what one round of the blues would sound with a riff. What is so great about these cards is that you get started in playing them, and they are indescribably cool. When I teach them to students, when they see them, they're like, these don't look as exciting as they are in practice. When my students see the cards, initially they're like, oh, whatever. But when they have them on the piano and I show them how they work, they're like, oh my gosh, I get the wide-eyed, sparkly, doing, it's working every time I show this to somebody new. And then they take them home, and because they're analog, they're not computer, they can slide them up and down and they can experiment, and it's just creating all of this awesome creativity. The blues set is like a great one to get started, but I'm working on other jazz chord combinations, regular cadences, whatever we teach. This is such a great tool for students or for myself. I created them for myself because I get screwed up when it comes to transposing. These cards don't look like they are as cool as they actually are. When you start using them, you're like, oh my gosh. And even though you know that the patterns are correct, you can't help yourself. You want to slide it and see if it works in the next key. And then you slide it and you see if it works in the next key. And pretty soon you start understanding those patterns and shapes. What's also really interesting is that they are to the scale of your piano, right? These do not look like piano keys because of course there's no differentiation between the black keys and the white keys, but all of the keys are the same width when you get to the fall board. So if you are practicing the chords and you use these, you can get the hand shapes for the chords using these because they're the same scale as your piano. The whole steps and half steps are so easy to see because when you have a whole step in a scale, and I'm going to use the blue scale with the gray here at the bottom, when you have the whole steps, you can see, well, I guess you can't see, but from the 2 to the 3 here, we're skipping a key, which is a whole step. From the 3 to the flat 3, 3 to the flat 3 there, it's a half step. You can see that going on the flat side, you're going 1 key over to the left. So it doesn't really matter whether you're on a black key or white key. The rules are the same and they're so much easier to understand for students. Blues right now, a lot of I put it in black because I thought, you know, it's cool. Not sure if it's that easy to see on the video, but when you put it on the piano, it's really clear. As I said, there's 3 sets of chords here. They're all legit. The first set is a little bit easier. They're the standard chords, and then the second and third set have extensions in them. Again, you don't need to know what the numbers mean inside of these things to be able to play them. You know, you don't need to know how to build a watch to be able to tell the time. But as soon as you start getting to play these and getting to know them, then the scale degrees that are written inside of the notes, or the keys that you're playing, make more sense. These have been a game changer for teaching the blues. I have never had such an easy time to explain the concepts. And the transposing, I have my students playing the blues in all 12 keys, even if they will never need to play it with somebody else. They are understanding their chords, they're playing things accurately, they totally get the blues scale. It's just really exciting. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to learn about these. They are so cool. I can't even believe how cool they are. They are just great. Again, this is Sarah Lingra. Click on the link below, sign up to my newsletter, and I will direct you where to get the chords, and thank you.